kind of crazy. So, and you got to remember, she's out at like 3 o'clock in the morning. And she had her purse and stuff like that. And I remember pulling up beside her. And I know it's hard to believe, people. Now, hold on to your britches. But I do listen to, there's a preacher that I listen to in the morning. And I remember pulling over. And I had that on. And I, like, turned it down. And she leaned in. And I remember it was crazy because the radio gave like this green light on her face, and I can still remember it to this day. And I remember saying, you know, sweetie, you're out. We're late. Do you want me to give you a ride? And she said, no, I'm fine, you know, and pretty much said thank you and stuff and was really nice, smiled, and then just kept walking down this dirt road. And I didn't think no more about it. And then I saw her, like I would see her occasionally sitting at this little store. I would see her, you know, just near this little road when I would go, and I would wave at her and stuff like that. And then one time, the last time I saw her, I was coming around and she knew that I was there because you could see the lights going up this road, and she was in the middle of the road. And she had this look on her face like, holy shit, you know, but she knew I was coming. And then, you know, she got over or whatever, which was kind of peculiar because she knew I came every morning and stuff like that. And I remember seeing this car come up. It was like a Trans Am kind of looking car or whatever. And by the time I turned around and came back down, I couldn't find her anywhere. And I couldn't find that car. I couldn't find nothing. So it just struck me, and I never saw her again. But I saw her for like a whole week. And she pretty much had the same thing, the same jacket, the same everything. So I went to my friend. I remember Googling and being like, man, there's something going on with there's something fishy about this. And when I was talking to the people in my family who helped me with the paper route, I was like, man, you know, that lady. And they were like, what lady? And I'm like, the lady I see every morning. And I realized nobody saw her but me. They weren't they weren't riding with me. But I just thought, oh, y'all must have seen her. Like, I've seen her for so long. And they're like, no, we haven't seen her. So I was like, man, this is really crazy. So I told my friend, I was like, I never saw her again. I don't know why she was in the middle of the damn road that day. I mean, she knew I was coming through. She knew the road. She knew everything about it. And I just never saw her again. And my friend was like, well, let me, you know, I said, I've tried to Google it and I can't find nothing. So my friend was like, oh, okay, well, she calls me over one day and she's like, you got to come to my house now. And I'm like, girl, you done flipped your wig. This is crazy, you know? So I go over and she's like, I got to tell you about this chick. And she pulled up the name of the road that we delivered on and everything. And it was an article about how this lady had been with a man. There was a trailer park across the way, by the way, of this dirt road. And she had been with this man. And they had difficulties. He scared her. I think he was like in a really bad place. This guy was. Well, the lady had left, and I think she had like a surgery to like lose weight and stuff, or had lost a lot of weight. Isn't that right, Ashley? It was something about her had losing weight because this guy had brought attention to that.
She, I think what it was that she was like, I need to go. They were having problems or whatever, and she was like, I need to go see the guy. I need to get a ride to go see him. And her sister told her, no, I'm not giving you a ride. So she had to walk over to see him.
Well, no, she was at that little store that occasionally I would see her sitting at. She used the payphone there to call her sister and be like, look, I'm scared. I'm across the way from the house. They had been estranged and stuff, and I think she had dated a guy who I think was African American. Don't you remember that part of it? Yeah. And he didn't like that, or he thought she was affiliated with that. And he pleaded for her to come and see him and stuff like that. And she had went, her sister said no. Her sister would have normally went with her. And her sister said, no, you don't need to go or whatever. And she did. And she went to that payphone across the way from this trailer park that I had seen this lady. I don't know if it's the exact same lady now, but I had seen this lady sitting there. And at this particular little store. Well, she had used this payphone to call her sister and tell her that she was kind of scared. But the girl went on over to the trailer park. And what happened next was kind of nasty. The guy, her husband.
Well, when they fought, she was like, it was something about she wanted to go for a walk to kind of let things cool off. Mm-hmm. And when she on her way to go walking, then
he got her and he mutilated her body. He put stuff up in her vagina, her hoo-hoo. He wrote on her with marker, wasn't it?
That they couldn't get off for the casket.
She couldn't have her casket open. This lady was pretty much just mutilated and violated in every way that she could. And he killed her. And and the crazy thing is he went to his friend's house then, and that was in the trailer park, and was just like, I killed my wife, and sat down. And he called the police. The police came and arrested him. And that was, his intention was to kill his wife. He didn't want anybody else to have her. He had just did the most foul things to her. And this happened years before I delivered papers. Now, I'm not for sure if this lady was the same one. Who knows? All I know is that it was a feeling you got when I saw her and stuff like that. It was a feeling I got that was just like, something's off here. If you've ever been a paranormal investigator, or you are a paranormal investigator, there's certain things that when you go into a situation, like you'll see somebody. Now, this has happened to us before. Like, it's happened to me. We pulled up to this location, and I could have swore I saw people standing, at the edge of the woods here. It was at a graveyard at nighttime. And I was like, oh, man, there's people over there. So the guy who was showing us the way, I said, hey, man, your people's here. And he said, no, there's no people here. When I looked back, there was nobody there. These are the things that are paranormal. And it's just got a little off. Or you're like, wait a minute, that person ain't got no legs. Or wait a minute. But it seems okay at the time. This is the feeling this girl gave off. I don't know if she was the one that got killed across the way in the trailer park. My friend was definitely, some other crazy stuff would happen down that road, is that you would pull up to this one box. And my friend would tell me, she was like, something hit the back of my car. It pushed down as hard as it could. Just like, how somebody puts their hands on the back of the car and shoves it down and it bounces up. Stuff would happen to her like that on her car on this little road. And I think that happened to us before too, that we pulled in there and stuff. It's just crazy. So, I don't know if anybody else knows of this road. We're not going to really put out this road because I don't want people to go up there. All of our 2 listeners might get a little, squirrely. Yeah, a little squirrely and got to go. Ooh. Yeah. But that is kind of what sparked us a little bit. So that is the story behind, and I don't think we've ever told anybody that story before. So, but the girl, I thought to myself, gosh, man, if this was a malicious whatever, but she had a really sweet, like I could tell she was a sweet person just by the way that she was. But it was just really eerie that was glowing on her and stuff. And it could have just been my radio, but it was just freaky as crap. But that is just one story of the shit we've got into with hitchhikers, man. Goodness. But you go on and share what your little thing is actually with some hitchhikers. I'm going to hit them with some crazy shit I've done with hitchhikers.
Oh, yeah. Actually, there's one in one of my favorite books that I always bring up.
Ooh.
The Weird Virginia. The Persistent Paranormal Hitchhiker of Walney Road.
Walney? Where's Walney at?
It's in Chantilly, Virginia.
Are you making this shit up?
No. Okay, there is anything more eerie than a lonely figure seen walking a highway in the dark on a stormy night. Virginia has several strange roads that are said to be home of such lonely phantom figures, including Walney Road and Chantilly.
Chantilly lace and a pretty face and a ponytail hanging down. Don't pick up those hitchhikers or they're going to kill you.
Yeah. The story is that many years ago, before the road was paved, a man was killed while out walking one evening. As he strolled along, he was struck and killed by a passing automobile.
Automobile.
The driver of which was never found. Since that time, the ghost of this man has been walking this road trying to flag down passing cars. It is said that he is searching for the driver who killed him and fled. Interestingly, according to the story, drivers who see this man are encouraged to pick him up rather than simply passing by. The man apparently appears to drivers 3 times on Walney Road.
3, not once, not twice, but 3
times at 3 different locations.
Ooh.
Those who tell this tale claim that if you do not pick him up after the 3rd time, he will appear in the passenger seat of the car.
Oh, shit.
And force you off the road. There are those.
Well, what happens if you pick him up? He's going to be in the passenger seat forcing you off the damn road. Give it the gas. That's what I say. Give it the burn rubber, people.
There are those who can point to a number of accidents that have occurred on this windswept roadway and say without hesitation that it happened because the driver passed Walney Road Hitchhiker one too many times.
Oh, Lord.
He's
That's spooky. Man. That is spooky. I tell you.
He's determined.
There's,
Also,
you know, as you Google this stuff, there's crazy hitchhikers all over the damn place.
Yeah, there's always one. I don't know. There's always something.
Let me tell you about my hitchhiker experience. Way back in the day, I was all about picking people up. I don't know. Maybe I was lonely, waiting for some friends. I don't know. But there was this one guy, and I swear to goodness, man, I have the worst luck with hitchhikers. I mean, they could be like, we were talking about this. They could have like a red thumb thicken out with blood on it. I'm like, woo, you got some cherry sauce on you or something, mister.
Where'd you get them? Ooh, you got them to share? You would. I mean, I am like, I see somebody walking, I'm like, bro, I can't even get by passing up. I don't even I give them the look away. I mean, I'm supposed to be looking at the road. I'll look out the other window. That I don't see him roll up my windows. Keep on going.
Well, so this guy was walking along the road, and it was really snowy, right? And he had like overalls. God, he looked like Bigfoot in overalls, I tell you. And I was like, hey, would you like a ride? I don't know why. I mean, I was only like 17 or 18, guys. I mean, really young. And the guy was like, yeah, whatever. So I pulled into where he lived, which was down the road from us. He was like, don't pull in the driveway. My woman going to get crazy. Just drop me off here. Don't even stop. I was like, what the hell? He wanted to jump out. Later on, people, he actually held his woman, the one that was going to kill him for being in the car with me, at gunpoint at a local apartment complex. Then he ran and hid in the woods behind our house in a tent that was made for hunting, and eventually the cops done searched it and found him. Yeah. Well, I don't even know where the hell that man is today. He probably still in them damn woods. He looked like Bigfoot.
No,
anyway,
I've been to the place he held it. Like,
yeah,
we go deep in the woods. You would think it was like right out there. Yeah,
he's right behind the house.
I know. Knocking on the window. What the hell? I mean, that's what I felt like. He was really close. Oh, wow.
I know. Like, we walked over there with my dad and stuff in the back of the way. He's like, yep, that's the tent he was staying in. I was like, Jesus
They did
Christ.
some crazy shit. Like, this one guy, he got, his house got raided because he was selling, drugs, and he hid his guns in the woods. Behind our house, too.
Yes, he did. He did.
They're like, you want to take some shit down or do some shady shit, just do it behind their house.
Yeah, I'm telling you, my parents' house, people go dig. You know how we found out about the damn guns being hid all over the place was this guy's woman come down, and we thought he was a little squirrely, you know. That must be a prerequisite for living beside my parents. They got to be squirrely. Maybe we should ask ourselves about our parents then. But this man, the woman came down, she's all crying. She's like, yeah, he gonna kill somebody. He done got all them guns up in the woods he hid. And we were like, holy shit, we got to duck now, man. Yeah, but anyway, that hitchhiker.
Be friends to your neighbors.
Yeah, be kind to your neighbors. You never know when them some bitches got a gun. Anyway, so that hitchhiker turned out to be a man who held his woman hostage and then hid in the woods behind our house. So that was my first experience with a hitchhiker. No. There was another man that liked to sniff panties, but we'll leave that part out. Yes, it was. Oh, Lord.
Why do you pick...
I don't know. I need friends, okay?
Apparently. God. All right. One haunted highway actually is the Resurrection Mary is a famous ghost story that is considered by many to be original hitchhiker ghost story. It takes place around Chicago area in Justice, Illinois. Many travelers down Archer Avenue, the street which runs through the city of Chicago, its southern suburbs, have reported seeing a young blonde girl walking by. Some have seen her, have claimed to even have given her a ride. The girl is said to be very quiet once picked up and disappear once the driver passes the gates of a Resurrection Cemetery in Justin, Illinois. The very first person account came from Jerry Paulus, a Southside man.
Always trust a man named Jerry.
Oh, Jerry. Our mom says Jerry instead of Jerry. It's Jerry.
Yeah.
The Southside man was who recently died. He picked up a girl at the Liberty Grove and Hall near 47th and Mozart and danced with her the entire evening. The only strange thing is that she was very cold to the touch. Later, she asked for a ride home, which was somewhere in Bridgeport area of Chicago, but decided she'd like to go for a ride past the large Catholic cemetery Archer Avenue Resurrection. As they began to approach the main gate, she began to act very strangely. She told Jerry to pull the car off the road, and for some reason, she had to run towards the cemetery, and Jerry could not follow. Before he knew that was happening, she darted